Hello, boys and girls. My name is DJ Towel, and here we are back again today for another one of my infamous tier lists. So, the subject that we are going to cover today is horror movies. Now, I know not everyone likes horror movies. I personally didn't like horror movies for a long time. I was a big scaredy cat. But ever so much as recently as when I met my wife, I started watching more scary movies with her and on my own. And just to let you know how much of a scaredy cat I was, back in the day when I was younger, I went to see a movie with my best friends. Not gonna talk about that movie today, but I was so scared that I was biting on my shirt. And when I got out of the movie, I saw that I had ripped it pretty much, the collar. So I've made progress because I've watched more scary movies now. Not all of them are good. Some are great. Some actually keep me scared for quite a few days. Some I roll my eyes at how bad they are. And that's what we're going to talk about today, okay? Just to start off, all right, just to start off, I'm going to give you an explanation of the rankings, all right? So we have Mommy, so that is when you're 5 years old and you're watching a scary movie. And after the scary movie, you just can't go to sleep and you think you're seeing things under your bed and in the shadows and everything in your mind, and you just can't help but just yell out Mommy about 20 times. She slaps you right in the head because you watched that scary movie and you shouldn't have. This is for you, Mom. But that's the first level. Second level is cover your eyes. You know, it's scary. You just can't look away, you know, like it scares you, but you're doing this little thing, right? You're doing that little thing. So it's still scary, but you can still kind of watch it, right? You want to know what's next. We have the third one, which is, on a dark, rainy day, you know, maybe it can scare you. You know, it's those movies where it's kind of scary, but it just doesn't hit the mark, you know. It has its moments, but it has other moments where you're like, okay, all right, let's keep it going, all right. Hey, maybe the effects aren't that well, you know. Maybe you can tell they use ketchup or something for blood or something like that. That's kind of what I'm talking about, right? I have the fourth tier, which is yawn. Self-explanatory. Just yawn. Nothing special about it. Does it really scare you? Probably not. Maybe it had one good scene in there, but other than that, whatever. And the final tier is even my mom wouldn't be scared. This goes out to you, Mom. My mom doesn't like watching scary movies. So any scary movie, she kind of... So if my mom isn't even scared by your horror movie, you done messed up, brother. You done messed up. All right. So let's go ahead and begin this ranking. All right. So I am going to start off with one of the movies that has scarred me for life. Okay. I watched this with my wife. And let me tell you, for about 3 days, I couldn't sleep without just seeing something in the corner. Okay, so the movie I'm talking about, Hereditary, and I'm gonna put it in Mommy because holy crap, when I watched this movie, dude, I can't even begin to explain. I would lie down and I would look at the corner, and then I would lie down, look at the corner. 3 hours later, wake up, look at the corner. Bro, it was that bad. And I hope you know which scene I'm talking about. If you've seen Hereditary, you know about this scene. My guys, this scene scarred me for life. The whole last 30 minutes of Hereditary just, holy crap, they just really just went up there, man. Like the whole movie was just eerie. It was just creepy the whole way through. But those last 30 minutes, oh my god, I just couldn't stop just looking at that corner, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, the lady's like up on a corner just grabbing herself, man. And honestly, anytime I watch this movie, I'm still very creeped out. Not scared per se, but it just brings me back to that moment. And this is for you, wife. You can never hear this sound ever again normally. Yep. All right, let's continue on. Let's see, what else do I have here on my list? All right, so we started off with a good one. Now let's do one that I just, you guys could have done so much better, but you didn't. All right, so let's start off with Winnie the Pooh. All right, so Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Why did you do this to my boy? Why did you do this to Winnie the Pooh? Look, maybe with a better director, a better script, a better plot, maybe this could have worked. But I'm sorry, guys. You just Winnie the Pooh, not scary at all. It was just trying to be really grotesque and really gory, which it's not my favorite part about horror movies. But if they're done well, I can live with it. But I just look, if you're gonna do something about Winnie the Pooh, which is pretty much one of the nicest, probably cuddliest characters you can get, and you're gonna do the reverse, you really have to get out there, okay? And let me tell you why. Let me show you why I was rolling my eyes at this movie. Look, okay? Let's go ahead and watch this real quick, okay? Let's go ahead and watch this. When it loads. I mean, look how slow he's going. I mean, okay, so I don't want to get copyright struck, right? But I mean, come on, let's be honest. He's walking so slow. Piggy is walking so slow. He's a grandpa walking it. He can barely move his knee. He has knee problems. And you can't get away. You're so, like, you have two sides. You could go, so you go just keep on going back. And he gets to you. Spoiler alert, she dies. Okay? So when I saw it, I was like, oh, brother, please. I could have done better. I would have smacked him right in the, like, come on. Yep. And there's more scenes like that in Winnie the Pooh. So even my mom wouldn't be scared of this. She'd roll her eyes out. Okay. All right. Let's continue on. Let's see. Which one is kind of like middle of the road. Okay. I just saw one recently. Let me go on. Let me look for it real quick. Okay. Don't look away. Okay. So this one I'm going to put, okay. Maybe on a dark rainy day, maybe. The premise was interesting, right? So you have this mannequin. For some reason, he's like alive and he just wants to kill people. Like, we don't they don't tell you why. All right, that I remember, they don't really tell you why. It just likes scaring people for some, like, it toys around with you and then it kills you, right? And the premise is, you look at it, and if you look away, later on he's gonna be like right here in front of you, right? So it's a good premise, but I feel like they could have done it a little more, honestly, scarily. In real life, if I was sorry about that, in real life, if I was scared, by a mannequin, like if I was being chased by a mannequin, that would be scary. But the way that they did it was more suspense than really like scary. It was an okay movie. Honestly, it was an okay movie. I had fun with it, but did it scare me? No. And this is, I'm gonna give you an example, right? So this is what I mean by it's scary, but it could be scarier. So it looks creepy, but it really doesn't move. Like it doesn't like creep you out, right? Like, I mean, look. This is from a scene in the movie. Yes, you see this when you're swimming, you'd be scared. But the movie didn't do it justice too much in my defense. So that's why I'm going to keep it middle of the road. Maybe on a dark, rainy day, there's thunder. You're with your wifey, with your with your significant other. You're kind of cuddly, kind of, like thunder, just, and that's it. But I didn't think about it really after the fact. Let's keep it going. Let's see, which one is another good one that I can talk about? Okay, we have Smile here. And I'm going to put it in Covers Eyes, but I still look, this movie was great. This movie was good. It kept me on the edge of my seat. I wanted to know what was going on. And I mean, honestly, okay. Honestly, if you see this guy smiling at you like that, going grocery shopping, you're at the gas station, and you just kind of turn around and you see some guy. I mean, wouldn't that at least creep you out? Like, hey man, why are you looking at me? Look away. Please. Look away. Please look away. Yeah. So, Smile is Covers Eyes. I have fun with it. It has a good plot. Basically, someone smiles at you, and you just see some horrific things that they do to themselves. The person smiling back at you, and then it just jumps into you, and then it just keeps on going, right? Like, the more people, you see someone smiling at you, kill themselves, and then another person smiles at you, kill themselves. It's like a chain, right? It's a good premise. I like the ending. Funny story. I told my mom, along with my wife, that this movie wasn't really that scary. My mom did not like my suggestion. She gave me the mean eyes. Those pistol eyes, those dagger eyes. It was kind of funny, but not funny. She almost kicked me out of her house. So yeah, sorry, Mom, but it was kind of a good movie. All right, sorry. All right, so let's continue on. Let's see, what else do I have here? Okay, let's go with another one that really didn't hit the mark. Night Swim. Okay, I'm gonna put it on Even My Mom Wouldn't Be Scared. Look, let's be honest here. It had a good premise. The pool is haunted. Someone died in the pool. Now it's haunted. It really didn't do anything for me, honestly. The monsters that come out in this movie really didn't do anything for me, honestly. I mean, look. I mean, that looks like a burnt Mr. Potato Head. That looks like unfinished cookie dough with some googly eyes. I'm sorry, but I could have done better on the special effects. It doesn't, honestly, I mean, that's how it looks. If you can't get monsters right, your movie's not going to do right, okay? It's not going to do good, and it hasn't done well. The reviews weren't that pretty. I wasn't scared. I was kind of rolling my eyes sometimes. So if I'm rolling my eyes, as a little kid, I probably wouldn't be scared either. Maybe I wouldn't jump into a pool at night, maybe, but it just didn't do it for me. I'm sorry, Night Swim. You tried, but that didn't keep me and my wife from going to the pool. Okay, the object of your movie is to stop me from trying to do the thing that people in the movie don't want to do, and I still jumped in a pool, so you failed. All right, now let's continue on with a beloved franchise in the mobile game market and honestly console game market. Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay, look, if done right, this could have had a few good scares. All right, and then if the plot could have been fleshed out and all the scenes really just really rammed into you, like just if they would have just hit the nail, I probably could have been scared, maybe kind of creeped out, but it really wasn't scary. I'm sorry, it just really, I was yawning. We watched it at night and I fell asleep. I'm sorry, it wasn't that interesting. It didn't do really that much for me. And if this guy scares me more than your animatronics, you failed, okay? I mean, look at its size. Look at it. Wouldn't that scare you in real life? Just standing there, starts dancing, ask you for a dance. Man, I'll get my knife, cut out its eyes. I don't know, man. I would maybe challenge him to a dance off. Maybe, hey, that's the way he dies. Maybe challenge him to a dance off, but Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm sorry, guys. You tried. But it did not work for me. You actually made me go to sleep. And I am no less scared of animatronics than before I watched this movie. So, sorry. The games were alright. The beginning games, the first games were alright, but it just didn't do anything for me. Alright, so let's talk about another movie that, I could see this lady in my dreams, okay? I mean, and it's not even in its complete form, okay? This lady is scary. Like, I mean, old ladies are already scary enough, all right? But, I mean, she's not even in her full form yet, and she's already scary. I mean, just imagine this. You walk into a house, and she's staring at you. Poop your pants right away. Right away. I'm sorry. Poop your pants. I admit it. I'd poop my pants. As an adult male, I would poop my pants. I mean, you can see she's deranged. And honestly, the movie, I mean, this lady goes on a rampage. Like, she's crazy. And I don't want to show you the full final form, but oh my goodness. I could not look away. I wanted to look away, but oh my goodness. This lady just... Oh my God. Speechless. Good premise. Old ladies are scary sometimes. All around. Good job. I recommend this movie if you're a horror fan. If you're not, you're going to get scared. And you're not going to enjoy it. So, there you go. All right. Let's continue on. Let's see. What else do we have? All right. So let's talk about a movie that... It's a comedy horror. But honestly, it wasn't even both. All right. It wasn't either or. We Have a Ghost. I'm sorry, man. Even my mom wouldn't be scared. Okay. So We Have a Ghost. You know the guy from Stranger Things? I think he's scarier in Stranger Things than in this movie. I mean, look. I'm sorry. I know it's supposed to be a comedy horror, but in comedy horrors, I at least expect a scene or two to kind of like make me jump off my seat, kind of like, ooh, whoa, I didn't see that coming, you know. And if it's not if it's not funny either, really, what kind of movie? It's just lame. Okay, I'm sorry. It was lame. All the jokes didn't land for me. It tried to do two things and it really didn't win at all. In either, it didn't achieve anything. So I'm sorry. We Have a Ghost. You could have done better. Stranger Things did it better. And he's not even the scary part of the movie. I mean, of the series. So if that tells you something. Yeah. All right. So let's continue on. We still have a few good amount of movies to go through. All right, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to continue on. So let's see. It's classified as like a horror, but in all honesty, it's more of like an action. And if we're judging it, Renfield, if we're judging it on its action, then yeah, it's a pretty good movie. I think I have fun with it. But if we're gonna classify it as a horror, no, it didn't scare me. I'm sorry, but it reminded me more of like a John Wick type of movie. Like, it had its scary type of elements that I wanted to get out there, but it felt more like John Wick in its action aspect. Nicolas Cage, great actor. his movies aren't always that great. And and if Mr. Goat is scarier than the Dracula we got in Renfield, evaluate your direction, all right? He is scarier than this. I'm sorry. I mean, imagine him waking you up during a sleepover. Wouldn't you be scared? I know I would. Look at those beady eyes. Look at that number 8. Anything related to math, really, or counting. Ugh. Ugh. All right, let's continue. All right, let's see. All right, so another one of these great movies that I saw in the past year. Talk to me, all right? This is one of these other scary movies that I was talking about a few days later. Like, it just captivated you in all the right ways. It was scary. It was creepy. And it involved an object that, honestly, like, you'd be like, man, I would never want to have that in my house, honestly. And the teenagers are just playing with it like it's nothing. Like, evaluate yourselves, man. I know you're teenagers and you think you can take on anything and you're always going to live in whatever, YOLO, you know, but man, talk to me. It was out there and the reviews spoke for themselves. It was a good movie. I think it's like a 8.5, maybe hitting a 9 out of 10. I really do recommend it. I mean, the girl herself, just by herself, just kind of had like a scary kind of look to her, like, and yeah. Now, all right, let's continue on. Look, we're gonna talk about an iconic character in the Conjuring universe, the Nun. So, the Nun by herself, if you think about her as a character, she's scary. Anything, you know, church related that has a twist on horror, it can be kind of scary. Nuns, especially this nun, can be scary. The nun in The Conjuring, creepy, you know, the painting, that was kind of creepy. The Nun first movie was kind of okay, you know, but The Nun 2. The Nun 2 just it didn't do it for me. I had a few moments where I was like, oh, you know, it could have been scary under a different director, maybe a new direction, maybe a better plot, better set pieces. Maybe it could have gotten, you know, what it wanted to do better. And let me be honest, okay? If Mr. Bean as a nun is scarier than the actual nun, do better. Okay? I mean, Mr. Bean by himself is kind of scary, right? As a nun, double scary. Compare it to The Nun, Mr. Bean wins, okay? All right, so let's continue. We got a few more movies that we can talk about here. All right, so The Autopsy of Jane Doe. See, this was one of the movies that I never watched the trailer for it. I just saw the cover and I was like, hey, it might look like it's kind of scary. I don't know. And when I watched it, I was surprised. It has a good tone, good background. It's in a mortuary, so mortuaries are already scary, man. Honestly, mortuaries are already scary. It goes straight into cover size because honestly, I couldn't look away, even though I knew it was really creepy. It's about this body. It was found. No one knows who it is. There's stuff going on with that body, and it just kind of creepily just starts doing things, man, to the two guys that are, the mortuaries. And man, I was pretty creeped out, honestly. And let me give you an example. After this movie, cowbells. It took me a little bit to kind of get that out of my head. Okay, let me give you an example.
What I was expecting. Can I see one?
No.
What's that for?
Make sure he's dead.
Yeah, so that cowbell, throughout the movie, it just keeps, once she like starts walking and everything, like just, you hear that cowbell, you know something's gonna go wrong. And for a few days, it's that cowbell sound, man. Just, man, it's, make my hair raise up. All right, let's keep it going with Terrifier 2. All right, so Terrifier 2 is a different kind of movie. I would think it's still a horror movie, but it's more on like the bloody side of horror. I normally don't like these, but Terrifier, the character itself, man, is that character like just top notch. Just if you saw it in your house, burn the house, that I promise you would give your house to Art the Clown, the guy from Terrifier. Like, you donate your house to him. You'd be like, hey man, here's the deeds, take my house. Hey, you want me to cook for you while I'm at it? Maybe that way you won't kill me. Hey, if I give you some good food. And he would still kill you. So, and just to give you an example, I know you know which one. I know you guys know. You've seen him probably in a meme recently, okay? You've probably seen him in a meme. I mean, let's be honest. Isn't he scary? You can't tell me he's not scary. And the meme I'm talking about, okay? I know he looks kind of cute here. Cute. But in the movie, he is out there. He is out there. So he does that. He does this in one of the movies, and honestly, I know it looks kind of funny here, but in real life, I would not ever want to be in the same room as him. He is crazy deranged, okay? Nothing changes him, and I would just... If you like horror movies, you might like this movie. If you don't like horror movies, I don't recommend it. It is very out there. You do not want to watch this if you don't like scary movies. But if you're in for a challenge, you want to challenge yourself. Yeah. All right. So we only have a few more left. Let's see. Late Night with the Debbys. So this movie had a different premise. It was about a talk show. And this guy, he invites these people that are in the scary space of like scary things, doing things they're not supposed to, like witches. I mean, come on, man. You know what happens to people that do that stuff? They die. And in Late Night with the Devil, they die. So yeah, it's a talk show host. His ratings are bad. And he wants to keep those ratings up. So he brings all these weird people. This girl that has like this thing inside of her. And then this lady that talks to the girl and the whatever. And this other guy that's a cynic. And like he's like an illusionist. And he's like, nah, this is fake. And some of the scenes are alright. Some of the scenes are alright. They are creepy. But I wouldn't say I was scared. Like actually scared, like, oh my gosh. It's different. It's a different type of movie. It's kind of on the creepy side. I recommend it. It's alright. It starts a little slow, but by the end it kind of gets up there, you know. Um, uh, I give it like a maybe like a 7. Oh yeah, and honestly, this is the scariest part of the movie.
Oh my
He is the scariest monster in the whole movie. All right, had its moments, but I mean, you got that '70s pedo stash. You got those fake devil horns. Like it's and then a thin. It's thinning his forehead. His head is thinning. His hair. Like you can't. That scares me, man. That scares me. Scariest guy in the whole movie. All right, and we are gonna finish it off with The First Omen. I don't think I've watched the other Omen movies. I don't know. Like I said, I was a scaredy cat. Never watched any of these. But I recently watched The First Omen, and honestly, I don't think it's scary so much as it is just like grotesque. It tries to catch you with those little brother, like those moments, so it wasn't scary. I had moments where I just, you do this, you're like, ugh. So if your movie like focuses more on those aspects instead of actually scaring me, maybe on a dark rainy day. But honestly, I was I had more of that reaction, really. To me, it was like a 5, maybe a 6, just middle of the road, kind of whatever. I didn't really think about it after I finished the movie. Just the premise was okay. You might have a different opinion about it, but to me, it really didn't do anything, honestly. So I think this is gonna make it for today. If you don't like my ranking, too bad, too sad. I don't care, because my rankings are the law. My opinions are the law, and your opinions are trash. Just kidding. We can all have different opinions. They're still trash, but you can have your opinions. And if you have something to change or something that you would change, you can leave it in the comments. Disclaimers and shout outs to my wife for wanting to do this video on this topic. Definitely had a fun time trying to look all of these up. Shout out to my mom. I'm a big boy. I can watch these movies now. Okay? I know you don't want me to. But I got big boy pants. Got big boy underwear. If I poop my pants while watching these movies, that is up to me. And I am sorry. I showed you smile that one time. Sorry, Mom. Alright. I will catch you next time on my next ranking. Thank you guys so much. Subscribe. And also visit my Spotify, DJ Towel. Maybe you might like my music. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.